Blessings, everyone. We are in the eternal city of Rome, and what a magnificent and special time it has been for the collective consciousness of this planet. On 9/11, the collective gates to the kingdom of heaven were unlocked and opened. But before we share about that, let's take a journey into how it came to be. On September 10th, I landed in Rome and hit the ground running. It was an adventure that started the evening before at 2:22 a.m. as I pulled out of my driveway in a rental car headed for the San Francisco airport. The time symbolizing that this trip would be a part of the master build of New Earth. Since landing in Italy, the symbolism and blatant expression of the divine story of humanity, from creation to separation to the ascension itself, has proven Rome to be the timekeeper and historian of the soul of humanity. Our journey began on September 10th at the Vatican Museum. This was to be the first stop, as it houses the Sistine Chapel, which is the sacred spot in which the codes for the end of time have been sealed within the planetary light body. The first stop was the Pinecone Garden, which would symbolize the Vatican as the pineal gland of the planetary light body. The pineal gland is shaped like a tiny pine cone inside the human brain. When completely open, it allows us to see the world as it truly is around us. In other words, we can see the light. During our ascension, this gland begins to open more and more until it is completely opened as the ninth dimensional stargate of the diamond sun body, allowing pure source light to illuminate the mind, giving birth to the universal mind or God consciousness. This pine cone in the Vatican garden symbolizes the inner vision of the collective consciousness of this star system. And we are here to begin the process of opening this energy center to bring the inner sight for humanity to begin seeing the light. First, however, we had to make our way through the museum and history of man and God to get the codes needed to unlock this stargate. The Vatican Museum houses the world's largest collection of humanity's history and the story of separation between God and man that has continued to keep humanity separate from the Creator for so long. As with all stories, our descent into duality has a starting place, and it is here that we shall begin our journey. Most of us have heard of Plato and Aristotle as the two founding fathers of modern philosophy. Plato gave us the Republic, and the cave in which held us prisoner to the dark. He taught us about seeing the light, acceptance of what is, and oneness with the world. He also taught a student named Aristotle, who would turn away from him and give birth to a new philosophy based in logic, science, and technology. One advocated the heart, the spirit, the natural order of things, and the other advocated the mind, progress, and molding the world around us. One helped to shape Christianity, and the other the ideas of enlightenment. One asked how we can fit into this world, and the other asked why it exists at all. Together, the philosophies of these two men helped to split the West and the modern world into the duality that we live in today. And it is this very image that is captured in the Stanza della Signatura in the Vatican, where we find the painting below titled The School of Athens. It is in this painting we see two contrasting and influential worldviews that shaped our human society into the dualistic struggle for the soul of the collective consciousness. The painting is energetically balanced between the left and the right, symbolizing the split of worldviews. We see Pluto on the left pointing towards heaven, the immaterial world, symbolizing seeing the world through the eyes of the mystic, using contemplation as the path to freedom. On the right, we see Aristotle with his hands facing towards the earth, the material world, symbolizing seeing the world through the eyes of the mind, using logic and reason as the tools of human freedom or free will. Together, these views create our modern world. We may not exactly see their views being displayed in our world. However, if we go to the root of our culture, we will find that essentially man has been in a struggle between the mind and the heart for thousands of years. This was part of the divine plan and experience of free will and separation that consciousness has been playing on this planet, and it got its start in our modern world right here at the School of Athens. It is no coincidence that the room housing this painting precedes the Sistine Chapel. Here we are shown the split of our world that is the root cause of our separation from and as the Creator. Understanding that duality is the only way to experience separation, we move into the Sistine Chapel to see the rest of the story. Looking up to the ceiling in the Sistine Chapel, we are marveled by the creation of the universe and man, followed by the fall into separation from the Creator or God consciousness through 9 scenes or 9-dimensional stargates that run down the center. Starting from the right to the left, the images in the middle represent the separation of light from darkness, the creation of the sun, moon, and planets, the separation of land and water, the creation of Adam, the creation of Eve, the fall and expulsion, the sacrifice of Noah, the great flood, drunkenness of Noah. These 9 paintings symbolize the story of the creation of our holographic universe from the womb of creation through the separation of consciousness into the dark. The light creates matter, which becomes our physical world as something separate from the formless. It is made up of the divine masculine and divine feminine, electric and magnetic forces, which creates all life here in harmony and balance with the cosmos. Then we see the fall or dissension of consciousness when we are banished from the kingdom of heaven or frequencies of unity consciousness. We sacrifice the divine feminine energies to have this experience of separation, and through the great flood, another root race was born in the lower dimensions of this universe to experience separation from God, in which we would be drunk or asleep to the truth of who we are. This period of drunkenness would last thousands of years until we would begin to awaken from our slumber to see what we have created and ultimately face ourselves in a day of judgment before ascending into heaven or unity consciousness once more. What a powerful set of symbols the ceiling is offering us to be able to see the divine story of humanity so eloquently played out in the world of form. Finally, if we look down and towards the altar, we come to the end of the story, the end of time. Here we see the masterpiece of the room, Michelangelo's The Last Judgement. This is the greatest depiction of the second coming of Christ and the judgment of God that will bring with it eternal, everlasting life. This is the coming of Christ consciousness and the self-judgment that each will endure to unlock the gates of heaven that lies within each's light body. This is also the spot where a giant golden chest containing the codes for humanity's judgment day were sealed within the planetary light body. I reached out my hand and unlocked the chest, and these codes were uploaded into my vessel to be taken to St. Peter's Basilica the next morning. The time for the harvest, the second coming, deliverance, the collective shift to new earth is here. The last judgment has arrived. The next morning I arrived at St. Peter's Basilica to unlock the collective gates to heaven and birth the collective realities of Judgment Day, where we will reap the harvest of all the hard work that we have done collectively and individually to prepare for the collective ascension to new earth, to begin building heaven on earth. I arrived at the Vatican early on 9/11, very deliberately on this date and before the crowds arrived. The gates were not to be unlocked until the date which aligned with Cosmic Code 911, signaling the end of the cycle of separation and end of time for humanity. I made my way into the basilica straight to the tomb of St. Peter, which is located deep below the earth, directly under the center of the dome. In the year 64, St. Peter was crucified at this spot, marking the location of the light codes or keys and gates to heaven for the collective diamond sun body, and also marking the spot where the church was to be built. In the Bible, we read that Jesus spoke these words. In Matthew 16-18, Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven." We are being shown where the stargates and codes are to unlock the frequencies needed to bring heaven to earth. The night before, I unlocked the codes at the Sistine Chapel, marked by the Last Judgement painting. These could not be unlocked until the collective met the frequency requirements needed to bring the end of time or collective shift to new earth and solar time or soul consciousness. Now we meet St. Peter at the gates of heaven to open the stargates. I unlocked the stargates of the collective diamond sun body and a stargate of the cosmic diamond sun body. In between the two gates was a giant golden gate that unlocked and swung open, reconnecting the planet with the ninth dimensional stargate of the cosmic diamond sun body. These frequencies of oversoul consciousness are now flowing at limited levels of the seventh dimension to allow the frequencies needed to build heaven on earth, and will continue to increase in frequency as the collective ascends. This will allow the seventh dimensional stargate in Istanbul to be fully activated with equinox on September 22nd. The connection here at the Vatican is what we wrote about earlier this summer, that would happen when the beings in the fourth dimension moved to New Earth, which would create the frequency shift on New Earth needed to bring over the collective. It has happened, and humanity has been crossing the Rainbow Bridge since the Lion's Gate passage. All have been approaching the frequencies of the fifth dimension by going through these past months of judgment days in preparation for the Last Judgement that is here and now. The gates of heaven are open, and we are ready to pass through them as a collective. Now that we have shared some of the background on the Stargate and understanding the symbolism that shares and shows the story of humanity, which is really showing us the energy and how energy descended through those ninth dimensions, through separation, how we are recreating and walking back up that ladder of energy. I will share with you the commentary that I recorded while out here in the Eternal City, opening the eternal gates to heaven, and also while I was out doing the collective blueprinting of the actual diamond grid section that surrounds these gates. So enjoy the rest remaining of this video, which is going to be a series of videos that I made while I was here in Rome. Good morning, everyone. We are in Rome, Vatican City. It's early in the morning on 9/11, September 11th, 2021. And we are here in Rome for a very special reason, the September 11th. And that is the Judgment Day. We are activating the harvest for humanity. This will be the end of time, the end of man's time, and the beginning of solar time on our planet, where we really begin looking away from man and the planet, getting our energy and resources here, and connecting to our sun, to the source as a soul, and really beginning to understand who we are at that level. And Vatican City really culminates that, because it really was it embodies everything from us as man and heaven, separate, and thinking that God is something outside of ourselves. And last night I went to the Vatican Museum, the Sistine Chapel, where Michelangelo's The Judgment Day, the Last Judgment, is. And it was there that the codes were brought into this vessel to be activated and birthed here at St. Peter's today. So that's why we are here at the Vatican today. The Vatican is part of the oversoul consciousness of the planet, which really is the heart of us as a soul and who we are. So I'm going to turn the camera. Here we are, St. Peter's Square. It's early. There's hardly anyone here. This is the center of the square. And if you notice, we have left and right, masculine, feminine, source. Everything in the Vatican is really proportionate and symmetrical to allow the balancing of the energies. And so here we are. This is St. Peter's. It is not open yet. I will be going into St. Peter's here shortly, and I'm not really sure when and where the work is going to take place. I just know that last night I picked up the codes and activated those within this area, within this body, for the Last Judgment Day to occur on this planet, and for the harvest, to signify the harvest. And this really means that the humanity, the collective soul of humanity, is ready to be activated, which means that each and every soul that has chosen ascension on this planet is going to reap the harvest and is going to ascend to the frequencies of the fifth dimension, what we call New Earth here, and essentially will begin a new journey for humanity. And so in the Sistine Chapel, you know, it takes us through the creation of the world. God created light, God created the world, He created man. And, you know, the whole thing here in Rome is the beauty of God as man, as a representation of God. And we are going to actually wake up to the fact that we are that God that created these bodies. It will start with us waking up to the fact that we are souls, and it will increase as we ascend through the collective ascension until we can fully embody the fact one day as a collective consciousness, as the consciousness within your own vessel, that we are not separate than God, we are not separate than the Creator, we are the Creator. So we are on one major stepping stone for consciousness on this planet, and that is what we, you know, in Christianity was called the Last Judgment. What we are in the Ascension community call the Ascension into New Earth, the collective shift, or the harvest, as it's been referred to as well. So here we are again, you know, St. Peter's in the background. I have to get ready to go inside, and I'll check in with you guys and let you know how it goes. I could not film it at Vatican Museum last night. Also, I was just really tired from traveling here to Italy. It's been a non-stop journey to get this stuff done in time for the equinox, which is the harvest date for humanity and this planet. So I love you. Oh, I love you so very much. Infinite love and blessings from Vatican City, from St. Peter's Square. I will put up some still photos when I put all of this together to share with the collective, because I am a representative of the collective consciousness as the one consciousness that is all things, all pervading in this entire universe. So when you are watching this, when you're listening to me, this is you speaking to you and sharing it with you so that you can experience what is happening for us as consciousness in this monumental, most auspicious time upon this planet. I love you. I love you so much.
So you're that's the green thing.
We are I just walked out of St. Peter's. It's real early. There's not very many people inside. And so I just took that little opportunity to share that part with you. I'm still trying to gather myself. Let's see if I can come outside here. Oh wow, what a shot of Rome. It's like so amazing what just happened in there. Just take that in. In the cathedral, and let me take this off. I'm so hot. I was birthing, and it is the beginning of the new. It's the beginning of the new. We're here at St. Peter's, and I'm surrounded by people inside, so it was very challenging to birth in St. Peter's under those conditions, but we did it. We absolutely did it, and I am just so absolutely thrilled. I wanted to just share this moment with you, this glorious moment. We are here at St. Peter's, where we have brought in the divine feminine to the church. We have activated the codes for the harvest, the last judgment, the end of time for humanity, and the beginning of solar consciousness on this planet. This is fifth dimensional consciousness we are going to embody as a collective soul. It is a glorious day, and they're sweeping behind me. This is part of the Oversoul section of the collective Diamond Sun Body that we are here working, and we'll continue to work as we make our way through Rome. There's a lot of work still left to do today and the rest of the time that I'm here. But this day particularly, September 11th, was the day that we were meant to come, because 911 is significant cosmic code for endings. It's the ending of a cycle. It's the ending of a cycle that started when humanity awoke. Remember when we talked about Waterloo and the solstice gateway during that time in the 1800s, where the collective really shifted into learning about free will as a human and what it meant to have free will as a human. And now we are shifting. This is the end of that cycle. This is the beginning. We are harvesting. This is it. This is the beginning of soul consciousness, what we did today. So the significance of us being here at 9/11, it's a very huge ending to a huge cycle. It's also the ending to a cycle that, we saw with September 11th in the U.S. terror attacks, which was part of waking up humanity. So this is all coming. These are all cycles coming to an end today. We have birthed the codes for the new. We have activated this Stargate. And it's an amazing day here at St. Peter's. I love you so much. I am making my way out of in front of the church, so I'm not, disturbing anyone else's peace and quiet. and making my way back to the square. So I love you. I love you so much. One last shot here, St. Peter's Square and the church. And I have some more work here in Rome, so I'll check in with you guys, take some pictures, do whatever the energy allows to do in those moments. I love you. I love you so much. So we are on top of St. Peter's Square. We are on top of the Basilica. And I'm clicking the camera on up here because I just want to show this is the central column, like your spinal column in your body, which the energy is traveling. And we are here, the crown, St. Peter's Basilica. This is more, if you keep and you look into the center of Rome, where we're going to be doing more work, is the heart. And this central channel actually connects with the Monte Cavo, which is the masculine point, source point of this stargate, and Monte Sabatini. It's in Braccio, it's a lake. And then also we're going to the Holy Shrine tomorrow or the next day, and that's the child, and it's up in the Sembruni Mountains. So this is a very good architecturally for me to be able to show the exact way that energy is traveling. And I'm sorry, but there's a lot of going on around me. This church was actually built on the tomb of St. Peter, and St. Peter was crucified at the spot marking the spot where this church was to be built. He said it's all part of the divine plan, that the story of consciousness playing out for humanity on Gaia, on this planet. Every single thing that takes place on our planet has purpose and meaning. The layout of this area has meaning to allow energy to flow down through the grids from the stargates into the planetary grid. So again, just wanted to take a minute to show that. I'm going to turn the camera off because I am kind of surrounded by a lot of people right now, but I just felt like it was a good time to explain that. Blessings, everyone. We are outside of St. Peter's Basilica here at St. Peter's Square, and we've been working this area this morning for a few hours, and I wanted to kind of share with you what has been happening. We talked about going to the Vatican Museum last night, where in the Sistine Chapel we found Michelangelo's fresco of the Last Judgement, and there the codes were uploaded into this vessel. There was actually a giant golden chest, etheric chest of light codes that were buried under the Sistine Chapel there where that painting was. And so I unlocked that code and uploaded those light codes into my vessel. And then today came here to St. Peter's Basilica, and this morning I went into the Basilica early in the morning before many visitors were here. There were maybe 4 or 5 people there, and at that time those codes were used via this vessel to birth. We talked about the harvest coming. Those codes signified the end of time for man and what is coming for humanity. And the other thing is that as a master key to the grids of this planet, this vessel was at the tomb of St. Peter, and there unlocked the stargates here. And I took a little video of St. Peter's tomb. There at the top of the basilica that comes down into the tomb where this occurred, that will show. But essentially, I wanted to capture that for everyone, because it says in the top, you know, Peter, you are the rock that I will build my church on, and to you I give the keys. And we have St. Peter known throughout Christendom as being the keeper of the keys to heaven. And so that is very symbolic of what happened today, because today here at the Vatican, at the tomb of St. Peter, that basically said, build the Vatican here, you know, and this is the Stargate. We actually unlocked the energies to bring heaven to earth. St. Peter was the keeper of the keys, right? The keys to the Stargate that's going to allow the energy into the planet. And so today I went as a master key to this planetary light body, the diamond sun body of this planet, and that was our marker to unlock it. So, you know, we see again the symbolism that that consciousness has playing out in the story of humanity via this this whole story with St. Peter and having the keys to heaven. So today we unlocked the kingdom of heaven, which is the energies for the fifth dimension and higher coming in, you know, like allowing humanity this time to really begin, you know, this is the harvest, this is it, you know, like the gates to heaven are now open for humanity to pass through, for the collective consciousness of this planet to pass through. So there are no more seals or stargates that need to be opened, no more seals that need to be unlocked to allow heaven to come, the frequencies of heaven, the realities we call heaven, the realities of unity consciousness to come to our planet. So the kingdom of heaven is here. We have unlocked it, and we shall see the realities begin to manifest for us collectively. It's been a magical day here at St. Peter's Square at the Vatican last night and today. We have really journeyed together in such a powerful way. And you know, the thing here is that you're not alone. When I've been out doing this work, we've been out doing this work, never, there's eyes on you at all time. Literally, the consciousness is on you at all times. So it's been really a different experience here in the Vatican doing this work. I am absolutely amazed. We're going to continue, like I said, through Rome, the heart of Rome. We have some work to do there. There's a Stargate that connects down to the Stargate in San Francisco that needs to be opened. We have the actual main grid section where these Stargates are inside of, this huge, bigger grid, because everything is a Stargate within a Stargate. And that is going to run, it's a triangular all the way around Rome. And actually it's a diamond because it goes out into the water. So again, a little hard to explain here, but that is the rest of the work that we're going to be doing here in Rome, and I'll do my best to share that with you. But I did want to share that symbolism with you about everything that is happening today, because it's a magical day. It's a magical time for humanity. We are at 9/11 at the Vatican of 2021. You know, we have activated the harvest of humanity to occur. We are looking for 9/22 to really bring that harvest. And I just can't say anymore. I love you, I love you, I love you. Wherever you are watching this, whatever moment in time, the eternal now that you find yourself listening to this video, know that you are consciousness. You are unconditional love. You are the creator of all of this. And it is playing out through all of these vessels, all of this as one consciousness. We only perceive the skin and bones and buildings and all through the mind for the experience of having these stories play out as consciousness. But when we can see it as energy, see it as light, we can see that it is all one, and we are all one, and we are at a very, very special time upon this planet. I love you so much. I love you so much. Hi. Blessings. Blessings, everyone. Hi. Oh, I love you. We are in Italy, in a little town called Rico di Papa, on top of an ancient volcano called Monte Cavo. And on top of Monte Cavo, in very ancient times before Rome was built, the Latini lived or made a temple here to Jupiter. This is the masculine portal, stargate of this diamond grid section that we're working around Rome and the stargates that are inside of Rome. Excuse me. Here is where the ancient temple once stood, and then once Rome and Christianity came into being, this path we see here is the Via Sacra, the sacred road that led to a monastery here. Now it is dedicated to the technology gods, but we can't go up. We're not, this road actually, the Via Sacra here is closed. I kind of came through, let's see, the trees, which is a beautiful way to come here. This is the first stop on the work that we're doing today, collective blueprinting on the diamond grid section of the collective diamond sun body that sits around the stargates of Rome, that are in Rome. Excuse me. Whew. I just uploaded all of those masculine codes, and we're going to drive over to the feminine part and we will birth them. So that's our next stop. But we are here on Monte Cavo. It's a beautiful area. I had to hike up, and it was a nice hike. It's warm out. There's the cyclists because there's some sort of cycling thing up here. That's just probably why this part is closed, so the cyclists don't accidentally come this way. So on the other side of these towers is the view, and we don't get to see the view because the police have it closed off, so we won't go past it. This was fine enough to do the work. So again, here we are, Monte Cavo, the masculine stargate of this diamond grid section that is around the stargates that are in Rome. And now we're going to move to the feminine, so I'm going to hike down and get in the rental car and drive to Lake Branciano, and there's another ancient volcano there. So I will see you when we get there. I love you so much. Okay, so we are heading on the hike down from Monte Cavo, and I came around the corner, and there's the view. There's the view. I missed it going up. So here I want to show you. Here we go. And these are lakes, remnants of the ancient volcano that once stood here at Monte Cavo. And yeah, so it was a beautiful hike up here, and we're going to continue we're going to continue our drive down, our hike down, and our drive over to Lake Braciano. And I'll see you soon. I love you. Bye. Blessings. We are here at Lake Bracciacino, and we are kind of just off the road because everything is private and I couldn't find a place, so I just found this parking place here. Okay, oops, I turned the camera off. Here is Lake Bracciano, and over there's a little town. But it's today's Sunday, so there's quite a lot of folks out. This is the female Stargate of this diamond grid section that we are activating here in Italy, with Rome as the center of this diamond grid section, a Stargate itself. And this lake is actually part of an ancient volcano, Mount Sabatini, and the lake is not a crater lake. It's actually, this was the magma chamber for the volcano. So it's like the womb of the volcano, you know, it was filled with magma, and now it's filled with water, and this water is the water source for Rome. So this is this is Rome. Rome gets some of their water from here through the ancient Roman aqueducts. So imagine this, you know, energy just coming through, and you know, it's a glorious day. We just drove out here to you know, the middle of, I don't know where we are, but we're at Lake Bracciano, and we have to go now to the Child, which is in the mountain. So we're going up into the Simbruini Mountains to the Shrine of the Most Holy Trinity, which is so perfect because we are activating the Trinitized God forces of this diamond grid section today. So when we go up to that shrine, it is going to activate this diamond grid section. And we were about an hour and a half from where we started at the first one, and I think we have a couple of hours to go, or maybe another hour and a half to go to the Child portion. So I'm going to get moving, and again, share this lake with you. You know, share the energy and the light. I love you so much. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the mountains at the Shrine of the Most Holy Trinity, which is a pilgrimage site. So we'll see how it goes. I love you so much. Blessings, everyone. We are here on our way up to the Shrine of the Most Holy Trinity in the heart of the Simbruini Mountains. We are east, a couple of hours east, sorry, have to think about it, a couple hours east of Rome. Here is a shot of where we are, and we are walking the path of the pilgrim. There are lots of people taking the pilgrimage here today, so we try to be very respectful of each's journey. But I wanted to take a moment before I get to the top and just show you the view, let you know what's going on. It was a really crazy drive to get here. My Google, I was off-roading in my little Fiat, so yeah, I got lost, and luckily there were some folks out, and they understood when I made the sign of the cross what I was trying to saying where I was trying to go because English was not available and my Italian is in the works. So here we go. We're going to finish the pilgrimage, going to the top here, and I may or may not be able to film some of the work, but I'll check back in with you from the top. I love you so much. We did it! We have activated. Oh god, this entire grid section, I gotta lean over here. Oh.
Oh, it is so lit up out here. It is lit up. Oh my gosh.
Che modo passa pure Emanuela, ecco, Emanuela, il situato pure Emanuela, Emanuela, oh,
Oh. I...
adesso pensato a te, ecco, modo passa
Mamma, mia sorella e la marito.
Oh, beloved. I can't tell you the significance of what has taken place with this activation in the Vatican and the gates of heaven and the energies and what's coming for our planet. I'm so consumed with joy. There's so much love. I love you so much. Each and every one of you. Each and every one in these bodies. We are one consciousness doing this. What you see as yourself. Pure love. Oh. In true Roman fashion, we are just surrounded by people, pilgrims, believers, those whose hearts will open and the truth will come to them. Because all of us, of all that, everything that everyone's doing on this planet is consciousness. I was so tired driving here because I haven't slept much and I haven't stopped since I left my house at 2:22 a.m. a few days ago. But now, in this moment, it's like none of that even exists. There's so much joy and love radiating. The pure frequencies of the Source Creator radiating. This whole diamond grid section is activated. The next stage for humanity. It's solar consciousness, soul consciousness. It is here. I love you so much. it together. It's just so much energy, so much love. I can't even explain it, but I know you can feel it. So we are on the spinal column of Gaia. If you remember from other collective blueprinting videos, we work with the spinal column and activating grid sections off of the spinal column, the central column where the source energy flows through our planet and then goes out into the different grids at varying frequencies based on those stargates, those energy centers. So right now where we are standing in the heart of the Simbruini Mountains is on the spinal column of Gaia. And there's a river that flows right through the middle. I'm going to turn this and I'm going to show you this beautiful, it's like goes forever. And inside, carved inside there, originally before Christianity, there were what we could call like petroglyphs in there, marking this as a very sacred cave. Along came Christianity, and there are frescoes in there of the Trinity. It's a fresco that represents the Trinity, the Trinitized God force, and I'll put a picture of that in this presentation when I put it together. But from this, there's a river that just flows out, you know, just like we were at the lake earlier, and the water is such a carrier of the light and the codes. And this, the spinal column of Gaia runs up through Italy. The boot, we have, you know, the east and the west side of it. And it's just utterly, unfathomably amazing what is happening on our planet right now, and what has happened here in Italy and Rome and this whole Stargate, and what it means for humanity. And I am so honored to be the one in this vessel sharing with the one. We have unlocked the Stargates, we have activated and connected all the lines. I love you so much. Oh my goodness, I love you. Hang in there. We are so close. You will feel this change in humanity inside of yourself, in the collective consciousness. I love you. I'm gonna just sit here and soak in these energies and just rest for a while. Thank you so much for journeying with me as the one consciousness that is all pervading, that is you, that is the collective consciousness of this planet, that is all light within this universe. I love you so very much.